We just have to remember to do the resolution to go on camera.
See, I knew I would have to buy a truck living in this one.
Okay, I'd like to call the meeting back to order, and I would like to have a resolution to come out of camera.
Resolved that as per section 152(4) of the Municipal Act, Council of the Rural Municipality of St. Clements does now resume sitting of regular meeting.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Sutherland, Councillor Horbis seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, so we have our minutes to do from our November the 19th meeting, and we also have some minutes from the Board of Revision appeal hearing. So if I can have a resolution for each of those.
Resolved the minutes of the November 19th, 2024 regular meeting of Council and the November 19th, 2024 Board of Revision be adopted as presented.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Belanger, Councillor Bazarowicz seconds. Any corrections or things that need to be changed in either of those minutes? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, it is just after 3 o'clock and we have a 3 o'clock delegation. Mr. Rudy is here to speak with us about some of the issues that he has. So if you want to come forward, Mr. Rudy, or you can speak from there, it's up to you. I'm just going to let you go ahead. I think we know why you may be here, but I'm going to let you explain what your issue is today, or if you have something else that you want to share with us.
I was just wondering if you people had heard from Valley Fiber, because they never were in touch with me, and things still remain the way they were over a year ago.
Okay, I'm not sure that council members have heard from them, but I'm just going to check with the office to see if the office has heard anything, and if there's any direction that we can give to Mr. Rudy.
There has been discussions with Valley Fiber. I know they attended to the site. They were able to restore it to the best of their abilities. I know that's still not to the satisfaction of Mr. Rudy. We've informed that of Valley Fiber, but we're not sure there's going to be much more work done at this point.
Well, there's still a trench in the approach. Like now when it's going to come to blowing snow, I'll just be able to blow about maybe half of my approach, because the other half still has a trench in it. And in the summertime, I cut the ditch because drainage is pretty important to me where I am. So I keep the ditch cut so that the water can move. It doesn't need to go through, bulrushes and everything else. And when they tore the approach up, like they made a mess out of the ditch and everything. And I mean, I brought an article here for you people to read. And basically, I just want it back the way it was. before Valley Fiber came in. And so it's not that I want Valley Fiber to remodel the ditch and just put it back the way it was.
Well, I guess I will say that unfortunately, now at this time of year, they're not gonna be doing any work. They can't do anything to restore the ditches. There's snow on the ground is probably frozen, and I know that you have been dealing with this for quite some time. But at this point in time, I'm not sure that the municipality or Valley Fiber can do anything for you. Now, when you say that on your driveway, if there's a little dip, like, can you not drive over that dip? I know I have a couple of dips in my driveway and I just drive over them. It's not because of Valley Fiber, it's just the way the road was built.
No, it's like, I've got a snow blower.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on hydraulics.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody who's worked with hydraulics, float is the ideal position to have your hydraulics in, because it'll follow the contour of
Of the land.
yeah. Now, the trench is about that wide. So you see the machine will drop into that trench. And last year, I wasn't quite on the ball. And well, I put stuff through the snow blower that it's not made for that stuff. And I mean, I've been doing that approach for over 20 years. Everything worked fine until Valley Fiber came along and said, hey, this is the way it's done here, folks.
Well, as I said, for right now, I'm not sure that we can do anything, nor can Valley Fiber, because of the time of the year. Councillor Belanger, you had your hand up, I saw.
That narrow trench that you're talking is going to fill with snow in the winter. There shouldn't be any issue of your blower deck going across that and jamming. It's going to be full of snow. It's going to go flush.
It'll fill full of snow, but it'll be soft. When the snow blower comes to it, it drops down into the trench.
Well, I don't know what else we can tell you, Mr. Rudy. I do know that at this time of year, we won't be able to do anything for you, and I think that you will just have to wait it out until spring and see what happens at that point in time. I'm pretty sure that come the warmer weather in the spring, we'll be talking to Valley Fiber, because I think you're not the only one that has some issues with the work that was done. So we'll be talking to them on some of these other places too. So we'll make sure that yours is included.
Oh. Can I ask you people a question?
Go ahead.
Is there still a bylaw in this municipality that in the winter time you can't push snow from your property across the road?
I'm not sure, I think there is a bylaw, but I know it is in the Highway Traffic Act that you are not supposed to do that.
Yeah. Well, it was my understanding that there was a bylaw officer who worked in the municipality here that enforced that.
Correct.
That's correct.
Okay. Because some people moved snow like last week, and there's an individual in the area that he piles snow on the other side of the road. And he actually creates quite a bit of problems.
This is over the weekend that's happened?
Pardon?
This happened over the weekend?
Yeah,
Have you submitted a service request to the RN?
no.
Okay, well then how would the bylaw officer know?
Oh, okay, and then the bylaw officer will
We'll
come.
go and attend to that site
Okay,
and to talk to the property owner if necessary.
yeah, because,
But we need you to file a complaint, so after you leave here, today's meeting, to the front counter, let them know the
Okay.
property address and information, and then they'll let the bylaw officer know.
because they're not supposed to do that,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Okay, and this is an individual that, he's a custom guy, he goes around clearing, he does that to make, money. And I mean, shouldn't he know, the different, regulations in different municipalities?
I'm not gonna comment on that. The point is, you said somebody has pushed snow onto the middle of the road, which they're not allowed to. You let us know, we'll have our bylaw officer investigate.
Okay, well, I mean, he pushed it across into the ditch
Into the ditch.
on the other side, but where he pushes it, there's a culvert. And in the springtime, you people have to come out with your backhoe, because there's a mountain of snow, and you've got to, dig that culvert out.
Again, sir, we'll have the bylaw officer investigate. So just record it
Yeah.
with our
Office.
office, and then we'll have the bylaw officer look at it.
Okay, thank you very much, and you drive safe.
Thank you.
Okay, so we don't have any communications for action. Or do we? No, we don't. Okay, so we'll move on to number 8 on our agenda, new and other business.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. What this is a report to request for a request of RFP. So what we're asking is council's authorization to put forward an RFP to look at moving forward with a request for proposals for the naming rights of the new St. Clement's Activity Center, which requires our council approval. The intent here is to go out and do an RFP to look at giving an opportunity for raising funds for naming rights for the community center, as well as for any of the specific rooms inside the community center.
Okay, so do we need a
have a
resolution for
resolution.
that?
Yes, I do, Madam Mayor.
Thank you.
And so be it resolved, council accept the recommendations of the management of recreation to proceed with the request for proposal for the naming rights of the St. Clement's Activity Center.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Bazarowicz, Councillor Strang seconds. Any further discussion? Go ahead, Councillor Strang.
Reading this, is there any dollar values put on any for the rooms for, like, if we're speaking with other business owners in our area, or people to do naming rights of the community center? I didn't see any dollar value in it. Or people asking what it would approximately be, or are they going on the highest bid? That's what it looks like, but
I guess somebody just offers, or you have something, you see how much you can get.
I
Would you
saw the
say
part
that
here that
somebody-
said 10
Hey,
years.
didn't somebody approach you, you said you had somebody?
Yeah, enough like,
Oh,
Well, I guess the other thing that I've heard of in other places is it's not not necessarily naming rights, but I know in hall that was constructed, somebody purchased all the lights with their name on all the lights and so it doesn't necessarily, in my mind anyways, have to be naming of a room or a structure. It could be something else. I don't know if Deepak agrees with that, but
An accessory in the building or something.
We'll
Yeah.
be filling out some of that information. I can certainly have, as soon as there was a bit of an evaluation as to some ranges we were looking at for each of these, but we didn't want to put that out there because somebody may offer more.
Okay.
And so what we'll do is we'll see if we can share some of that information with you. If there's people
Just
that-
so we've had an approximate, like if
Sure.
somebody said, like, you know, what would the,
for the banquet room,
yes,
say.
or the whole building, the center, like,
Right.
like, you know, Sonoma Center access is a big one that goes around to different community centers, but,
We did talk to the Access Center and looked at some of what they had received and look at shares.
sure, thank you very much.
Thanks. So do we need to do anything? I guess you'd would like a resolution for that, or is it just gonna move forward?
I've already read the resolution, be it resolved.
Oh, okay.
Council accept the recommendations by the
Okay,
recommendation.
Okay, so I have a mover, have a seconder. We had a little bit of discussion, so I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed, carried. It's been, yeah.
Who's a bank?
Who's our bank? I think we have two.
Access?
I think we have
Access?
two.
Used to be Sonoma, but it's Access.
Access is
So
ours.
somebody like that would.
Yes,
Yeah.
there might be an opportunity. I've already talked to the manager of Access to think about it. So the next two items, Madam Mayor, are resolutions of council that council passed electronically and we're just bringing it forward for information for transparency's sakes for the council meeting. These are grant applications for the GROW grant application. One was for the landfill expansion for our regional landfill site, and the other was for the roundabout and sidewalk construction and LDS for COVID.
Okay, so I think these have been actually done already.
Correct. They're just
So,
here as information.
as information, okay, perfect.
And so the next item on the agenda is capital development fees and utility infrastructures. And what this is that, as per council resolution, we are to raise the fees by 3% annually. And what this does is this bylaw comes forward to update those fees for the following year.
So what you're looking for is just a resolution to increase those costs for the upcoming year?
Correct. That's for water, sewer, and fully serviced, which would be water and sewer.
Yeah.
He's asking the same question out there.
Yeah. Okay, so if you want to bring the resolution forward.
Sure. Whereas bylaw 8 of 2023 is known as the capital development fee and utility infrastructure bylaw in utility infrastructure buy-in charges, and whereas on Schedule A, the fees are outlined for the bylaw and can be changed by a resolution of council, and therefore be it resolved that council amended Schedule A to reflect the new fees that will be in effect as of January 1st of each year from 2025 to 2027.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Boulanger. Second, please. Councillor Bazarowicz. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Oh, sorry, Councillor Spicer, did you have a question or were you seconding?
Just a quick one for administration.
Okay,
Do we have a schedule that we check against neighboring municipalities to see that we're still in range with these fees? Like, I know we did a big one, what was it, last year?
We
But
did.
were we planning to do it again in a couple of years? Or?
Yes, we can, Councillor. This time we did just a generic review because last year we did do a much more thorough review. And this is just adopting those fees to continue on with the 3%. Now, we can certainly do another review next year if we need to do an adjustment.
Okay, thank you.
Does the 3% cover our escalating costs that we get charged every year for this?
No, 3% was built into the overall, the fee structure, that when we did the analysis of what to charge for each of those utility buy-ins, and then it was the total cost of the construction,
Okay.
and how many units we would have in a build-out of 20 years.
Okay.
Okay, I think I've called the question, we voted on it, so we can move on to our meeting, I believe, 8.5.
Yes, Madam Mayor. And so this is the meeting on Thursday, January 9th, at the city of Selkirk, at the Selkirk Golf and Country Club. And the meeting's at 5:30, and we're just looking to see who will be attending that meeting. And I think people have submitted their names, so we have resolved, what we're recommending at this point is just resolve council be authorized to attend the Association of Rural Municipalities meeting at the Selkirk Golf and Country Club on January 9th, 2025, just in case somebody changes their mind at the last minute.
Okay, but Heather will need a number for
Correct.
them, so.
I think most have indicated to have
They
it.
will. They will attend. Okay. All right. So are we going to pass the resolution? You gonna read it?
Resolve council be authorized to attend the Association of Rural Municipalities meeting at the Selkirk Golf and Country Club on January 9th, 2025.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Sutherland, Councillor Strang, seconds. Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? And that is carried.
Next is the Red River Basin Commission. Madam Mayor, you wanted to bring this forward for discussion purposes. We have already passed a resolution, people attending this conference. And I think you wanted to talk about possibility of impacting our
Oh,
meeting
yes,
schedule.
our meeting schedule, because I believe our next regular meeting is on January the 14th. So I asked Deepak to put this on to see if we wanted to change the meeting or if you'll go without those that are gonna be here. Like, I'm not sure who is all going to Red River Basin. I know Councillor Strang and I are planning to go. Anybody else? Glenn?
Councilor Rouge.
Rob was going to, but I think
January?
he can't.
Yeah, I can't go.
Yeah.
I'll tell Heather before I leave to just cancel it.
Yeah, so I don't know if the four of you want to go ahead and do the meeting, or if you want to. I was kind of looking at the calendar, and because this is our last meeting, for this month, I was wondering if maybe you wanted to have a meeting on the 7th of January rather than the 14th.
I'm okay with the 14th.
Then there would just be four of you.
Is Spicer, Scott?
Scott, are you going to be going to Red River Basin?
No, I am not.
So it would be Rob, Dave, Scott, and me?
No.
No, to attend the meeting.
No, to attend the council meeting.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
What is the wish then? Leave it at the 14th?
Yeah, whatever you want. We'll be here.
Yeah. We'll be here.
Okay.
And Councillor Spikes, Councillor.
Scott, you okay with that, Scott? Said Sam.
Yeah, I guess we could, if administration could have the budget ready, we could pass it that day.
Nice try, Scott.
Are you sure, Councillor? Because it's all Ward 2. And you.
So Councillor Horbus would chair with the meeting.
Yeah,
and
Councillor
Dave,
Horbus would
Deepak.
chair, and
Well, it'll be you, 3, and Scott.
Okay.
Not just administration, I don't count.
No, but you'd be
For a
here.
vote, yes, I'll be.
Right, that's what I'm getting at.
yeah, when are you going away, by the way? Sorry.
Beginning of February
Okay. So we're good
till
then?
mid-February.
Yeah, okay.
You're not going to the basin?
Okay, so then we won't
I'm not
change the
sure.
meeting, that's why
Mr.
I...
Trump will let me back up.
That's basically why I asked Deepak to go on, it's just that I wasn't sure who was going and who was staying, so not a problem.
Okay, thank you, Madam Mayor. So the next is the June 25th district meeting. And so this is the June 25th district meeting for the Arm of St. Clements. And what we were looking to do was just bring it in for information, Heather, or were they
Yeah,
requesting
just
a
more
confirmation
info.
of a site?
Well, I don't think we can quite give that yet, but
Yes.
what's the deadline to tell them?
Didn't we talk about switching with somebody?
That's one of the things we'll have to take a look at as part of this.
Yeah, and they just give some information as to the room setup and things like that.
Yeah.
And I think somewhere I saw how many were attending at the last June district meeting.
It was tight.
I know it was very tight
Where was it?
in Lac de Bonnie.
Oh.
Wasn't
Oh,
the
yeah.
June meeting in Lac de
Yeah,
Bonnie?
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
the one the year before that was in Richard, which was snug too.
Now, Richard was tight. Lac de Bonnie was okay. There was lots of room there.
I thought I saw somewhere there where they had, oh, right here. Okay, so in the Eastern District, where we belong, they had 145 delegates last year, or this year, earlier this year. So you can probably, if we're gonna host it, I would say it would probably be around that same number, if not a little bit more.
How many people is the new place supposed to hold?
That's what I was thinking.
How many
Because
people?
they are on schedule.
No, but I'm just asking, how many, where they, can you put 150 people in that new place?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? So maybe if we could switch with somebody, that would be good.
And then do it the following year.
I guess so.
I don't think.
Can we ask administration, DPAC, to get a hold of Donna and see who's doing the 2026 and possibly switch?
Yes, I think we can. I think, yes, I think we can.
Never hurts to ask the question, and if we can't, then we'll have to bring it back to find another venue.
Yep.
So, you two could write the notes again. You and your partner across the table. Yes.
Right there, Robin Johnson.
My buddy.
Yeah, your buddy.
Okay, so we will just leave that one for now.
Next is the Royal Canadian Legion Military Service Recognition Book donation.
Yes.
And has submitted a request for a monetary donation for their military service recognition book. And what they've asked for, based on what they've requested, the administration is recommending $260 for 1/10 of a page ad in their advertising.
Okay, any questions or comments? Bring the resolution forward then.
Resolved, Council approve the monetary donation of $260 for 1/10 page color advertisement of the Royal Canadian Museum's Military Service Recognition Book.
Can I move it, please? Council Bezaror, second Councilor Strang. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, 8.9 on our agenda, Broken Head Trailblazers Power Toboggan Club.
Broken End Blazers are requesting to be added to the municipal insurance. And as part of their request is for the directly related with the insurance related with managing the trail itself, for leveling it and monitoring it, and they need to be included into our insurance. We've looked into it and are recommending approval.
Okay,
So why wouldn't they go to their municipality for it broken head?
It's for,
That's just the name of.
That's the name of the group, but it is
Oh,
on
they're
our
out where
lands.
they built the building there, or is that them?
no,
Yeah, that's
No.
part of them, isn't it? No, that's the The toboggan green?
In our RM yard,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be, what the hell is it now? NASCAR.
snowman.
Snowman.
Snowmen. Those are snowmen, this is the
So-
Broken Head Trailblazers.
Never
And they're basically on Road 39 East between Road 88 North and 89 North. That's why, because they're on our lands.
So you're only insured, we're only insuring them for that?
Porsche,
This- Okay,
for
Yeah,
them doing that work.
yes.
So if I could read the resolution, Madam Mayor?
please.
Whereas the Broken Head Trailblazers Power Toboggan Club has requested the addition of the province of Manitoba's, to the municipality's liability insurance policy as required by the terms of the grant received by the province for trail leveling work on Road 39 East between Road 88 North and 89 North. Whereas the municipality has previously approved the trail work to be conducted by the Broken Head Trailblazers Power Toboggan Club, and whereas it is a requirement of the grant program that the province of Manitoba be included as an additional insured party on the municipality's insurance policy in relation to this work, now therefore be it resolved, council authorize the addition of the province of Manitoba as an additional insured party to the municipality's liability insurance policy for the purpose of fulfilling the requirements of the grant to perform trail leveling on Road 39 East between Road 88 North and 89 North, effective immediately.
Okay, thank you for that. Can I have a mover, please? Counselor Horvath, second, please. Counselor Sutherland. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. And I think that moves us into finances. We have our,
Dutch Elm.
oh, Dutch Elm, sorry.
This is our annual contract, and the municipality has the option to renew the Green Drop for 1 more year to complete the service again. And we are recommending to go with Green Drop, and I can bring forward a resolution to that regard.
Please do.
Be it resolved that council accept the recommendation of the Director of Public Works authorizing the city to proceed in awarding RFP 2024-12 Dutch Elm removal to Green Drop Tree Care at an estimated price of $28,515 plus GST.
Can I have a mover, please? Counselor Belanger, Counselor Spicer seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, now we will move to our accounts, and first we have a closed list of accounts.
So resolve council approve the December 10th, 2024 list of accounts, check numbers 2400 1675 to 2400 1743 in the amount of $701,613.27 for payment.
Okay, can I have a mover, please? Counselor Horvath, second. Counselor Bazarowicz. Any further discussion, questions, comments on the list of accounts? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, now that I moved here. The next item that we need to deal with is under 941, the START program.
No, Madam Mayor, interim operating budget. We have to bring forward the interim operating budget for 2025.
Okay, I didn't see anything that told me there was a
sorry.
document there. Thank you.
So, whereas in accordance with section 163 of the Municipal Act, the Council of the Rural Municipality of St. Clements have made an interim operating budget for all operating and capital expenditures of the municipality to be in effect from January 1st, 2025 until the adoption of the operating and capital budget for the year. Therefore, be it resolved, the following interim operating budget be adopted. Operating requirements in general government services, $360,000, protective services, $200,000, transportation services, $720,000, environmental health services, $200,000, environmental development services, $15,000, economic development services, $26,000, recreation and cultural services, $73,000, fiscal and capital, $500,000, capital requirements borne by reserves, $1 million.
Okay, can I have a mover, please? Councillor Belanger, second, please. Councillor Spicer, any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, now we'll try that once more. We'll go to the START program, because it doesn't appear that there are any grants.
That is a grant requested by the START program.
Oh, okay.
And so they've requested for a grant similar to what they've requested $3,500. Last year they were awarded $3,500. This year, if the grant is approved, we will be $830 over budget for sponsorship grants. This is just information for council. We should be able to absorb that, and we are recommending the same approval as last year for $3,500.
Okay, thank you for that. Any questions or comments before I bring the resolution forward? Okay, if you want to read the resolution, please.
Resolve council approve the following 2024 requested grant request, START program, $3,500.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Bazarowicz, Councillor Strang, seconds. Discussion. Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. And the next one is the Lockport Community Development Corporation.
Yes, Madam Mayor, and this is a joint application that's sort of being put forward at the same time with the two RMs of RM of St. Clements and the RM of St. Andrews for the exact same amount of $3,500. It is $500 more than last year. We had granted $3,000, but we are recommending to go forward with the same amount as St. Andrews. It's $3,500. They've expanded the program a little bit. They call it now the Live system, live event, which is a Lockport Ice Village and entertainment event, and they've had some additional charges. They are looking at raising considerably more money than that for the overall event, and this is the support that they requested from us this year of $3,500. They provided their financials, which is looking at cost of somewhere around $50,000.
Okay, I guess I have a question maybe. So I thought the Lockport Ice Village was a separate entity from the Development Corporation.
It's being run as part of the Development Corporation with both parties working together. The Lockport business groups on both sides who have brought the event together. Now that event is considered separate from what we considered was our commitment to funding towards the Lockport Development Corporation for doing
Oh, it's a 50-50 grant.
a 50-50 grant, but that's something, this doesn't really become part of that, but we can certainly use it as part of that.
Okay,
But that's not what the monies were intended for.
This is just for the ice village. though.
Correct.
I realize that.
No,
No,
I just-
I didn't think that that was part of what Lockport Community Development Corp was doing.
Yeah.
It's one of several things.
I didn't think it was mentioned that Lockport Development was on there last year. I thought it was just the funding for the village, the ice thing, you know, the fishing derby or whatever.
It was brought together by the Lockport Development Committee.
Just this year or?
Last year as well.
Oh, last year? Okay, sorry.
Authorized signature, Michael Ferris.
I realize that, but that wasn't quite the question. I thought it was two totally separate entities, and now to me it looks like they're working together.
Well, Lockport Development, the Community Development Group is responsible for working towards both businesses on both sides of the river, working together and organizing several events.
Right,
One of those events is the LIVE project here, the Ice Village.
right.
Another event is the breakfast, as well as the market,
Okay,
the farmer's market. That's the words I was looking
well, that kind of makes sense, but I guess I'm thinking of if there's another business in the area, in the Lockport area, that wants to have a community event, so are they gonna come forward to us for some more money?
for. If there was another business by themselves asking for it, they can, if they were looking at it as an individual business. We've been working mostly with the Lockport Community Development Group,
Okay,
and we've had both our economic development people working on both sides of the river, working with them
bring this
to
forward.
bring this forward and bring more events like this forward.
So Brennan would have been involved in this?
Gary was.
At first,
At
now Brennan would take this over. right?
Now Sue's gonna start taking it over.
Okay.
And what I've recommended is Sue's doing the economic development. And so in some cases, like tourism, we have Brendan taking over some of Gary's work. And it's in cases of economic development, such as this and other types of economic development initiatives, I've built in more into the planning aspects of it. And Sue's, but our agreement was that the economic development officer from St. Andrews will attend majority of the meetings and will get involved as need be.
Okay, anything else?
And that person's name is Brendan as well, I think, or Brandon.
I think Heather has something she wants to share, shoot.
I just checked back and the previous request did come from Lockport Community Development.
Okay,
For
thank you.
this.
Thank you. Go ahead, Councillor Strang.
Deepak, you mentioned that Brendan, even though it's their development officer, did we have ours involved too? So we'll get an update of whatever's going on also?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, anything else from members of council? If we have a resolution, we can bring it forward.
Resolved that council approve the following 2024 grant request, Lockport Community Development Group 2024 Lockport Ice Village and Entertainment, $3,500.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Strang, Councillor Sutherland seconds. Any further discussion? Councillor Spicer, did you have a question?
I was moving.
Thank you. I'll catch you next round. Councillor Strang, Councillor Gordon, or Councillor Sutherland seconds. All those in favor, or do you have a question?
I was just gonna make a comment. I know that Red River North Tourism gives to this also. They give, I don't know how many thousands of dollars, but they also give to it also. So.
Okay, so if I call the question, all in favor, opposed, carried. Okay, so now we're at bylaws.
Yes, Madam Mayor, we'll be having the first reading for bylaw 11 of 2024. This is to appeal a previous bylaw that hasn't really been utilized very much, and it was established back in 2007. In discovering this bylaw, we felt it was important to just repeal it, and the intent of that bylaw was to do discounts at prepayment rates when you paid your taxes well in advance of the time. And so the bylaw itself allowed for discounts, and nobody's really utilizing it, we're not really offering it, so we felt it was probably best to just repeal this bylaw.
Oh, how much was it?
There was a different discount rates, as I recall, up to the...
Did we know we even had it?
Yeah, I didn't even know we had this.
Neither did I.
Yeah. I didn't know
That's
we
why I'm
had this.
recommending repealing.
Well, maybe we should advertise it. We could use it.
Generally speaking, most people are going into electronic funds transfer and they're, or into the TIF program, which is tax, or paying monthly. So that doesn't work out on this. It's if you paid months in advance, you got a certain percentage rate so that you get the taxes in advance. It's not something that's very common anywhere because you could only give away the municipal portions of the dollars, so you're just basically giving away municipal portions for monies, just to have the money into the bank account a little sooner. I don't think there's a real advantage to it.
Unless you live in this RM and you pay taxes. Where do you
I'm looking at it from the perspective of the administrative side for the RM.
Let me put my ratepayers hat on for a minute.
Okay, so I think we're gonna give this bylaw first reading. If I could have the resolution brought forward, please.
Resolved that bylaw 11 of 2024 being a bylaw to repeal bylaw 21 of 2007 be given first reading. And Madam Mayor, if council does wish for further information, I can certainly bring it at the second reading.
Okay, thank you for that. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Sutherland, Councillor Spicer seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, communications for information. I'm not sure if Deepak has anything that he wants to bring forward, if anybody else has anything.
Question for Mr. Administrator? That money that we're getting from the provincial government that was announced at AMM at 900 and something thousand, I think you said, could we use or put some of that in some of our fire reserves, like bits and pieces, or whatever we
Council
chose?
certainly has the ability to put it into reserves or payment for other things. There were some things that I didn't want to bring forward for council for consideration. As an example, we had talked about increasing some of our summer capacity. And so, as you know, the province gave some funds here, but they did take away some of our funds for green teams and others. So there was some discussion of the possibility of maybe putting some of these funds into areas where we would have been hiring summer students at, so that we could keep up to the same levels of service.
I was thinking if we're getting 900 and something thousand, almost $1 million, if we could put 150 or 200 into the fire reserve, that'd be wonderful.
We certainly could. There's also probably going to be some additional funds left over, surpluses from this year that we can also dedicate towards the various reserves.
Didn't they say at that meeting they were gonna introduce the green team again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are, but
They
they didn't give an indication as to whether they would match the 2023 levels or would it be at the 2024 levels.
Oh, okay.
So 2024, they cut it by half. And so when we take a look at needing more possible student hires for 2025 for recreation and public works, this might be monies that could be possibly devoted towards it. It is money, it is funds available for the next 5 years. So every year, January 1st, we get a lot of money.
But no increase.
No increase.
Go ahead, Councillor
Yeah, for
Basarowicz.
anybody who wasn't aware of, that money is specified was to be used for anything you want.
Yes.
Okay, anything else that you wanted to bring forward under the info correspondence, Deepak?
No, other than answering Councilor Belanger's question, and then we'll do what we can to look at further stabilizing our fire reserves.
And we can talk about that in budget.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so that I think, where are we at here? Okay, so we are down to council reports. Am I missing anything? I don't think so. Okay, so I'm going to start with Councillor Belanger today, please.
Yep, no problem. November 21st, Red River Basin Watershed meeting. There was a bunch of us that met over in Dougal to elect various reps for our watershed groups. So we all met there and did that. They had a nice lunch for us. December 5th is the only other one I have, and that was the ARM in our municipality, where we hosted the various other RMs that come to meet at ARM and discuss municipal matters. That's it.
Perfect. Thank you. Councillor Strang, go ahead.
On November 23rd, attended the Santa Parade Lights in Selkirk with the mayor and councillors Corbis and Sutherland. Very nice night. We were thinking we had lots of candy, but we ran out of candy also, so, but it was a beautiful night. Kids weren't even having bags that day, they were using their tubes to put the candy in.
How did you guys run out of candy if there was leftover that we sent to Grandma Ray?
There was nothing left
We were
over
giving
on
like one piece
Saturday.
at a,
Well, we didn't take that candy, they kept the
Yeah.
Grand Marie candy here.
It was the
They
candy
split
that was
it.
purchased.
Yeah, we didn't take it
split
all.
in
We're
half.
split for Grand Marais.
if we would have taken it, we
You
would
guys
have
should have
used
just,
it.
yeah, okay, that's
How-
what
we
happened.
didn't know
They
that.
held it back.
Yeah.
Okay,
Not knowing, but that's okay.
yeah.
November 25th to 27th attended AMM with other fellow councilors here and there and our CAO. Attended discussions with the Premier and members of the Parliament. Great questions were asked by each one of them. You could tell the Premier's face when they were answering the questions and they didn't. Our CAO brought it up to us just to watch and see if he liked the answers that they were giving out.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
actually-
before at the other conference the year before in
Same
Brandon,
thing.
same thing.
Same thing, yeah. But one thing that I do have to
Should
say.
play poker with them.
One thing I do have to say is they really get the rest of their elected officials involved. It's not just one way. He lets them answer to however, and they're very approachable, I found it at the
He's not
conference.
controlling it.
Yes, yes. We did have other speakers. Pamela Barnum, she did an undercover police
From Brandon area.
seminar, and she also did a seminar on trusting the person's face, that you could tell by their eyes, their face of just how things are gonna go, and if you trust them, and communication with them. It was very interesting. One of the other days was Devin Clunas, and all of these were ex-RCMP, or ex-police officials. Yeah, he was, yeah. So that was another session. Breakout sessions I attended was the many uses of drones that's an assistant tool in municipalities. I know we have one too that we use for flooding time that's very useful, but one of them that it was actually put on by the RM of St. Andrews, by one of their emergency people. Another one that I attended was Made in Manitoba, exporting products in our municipality. And one of our main exporters is Minnesota. And I guess with the new election down there that they're saying that they're going to watch and see if things change with Mr. Trump in charge once the new year comes. They did have an election. We have a new president, Kathy Valentino, and Brad Saluk is the VP. He was re-elected, and a new VP of Scott Phillips, one from the west and one from the east. So, what else? November 28th had a Red River North tourism meeting, and had another one again on December 4th, and that was with the municipal shareholders meeting. Both of those meetings I would like to discuss in camera, and probably the mayor would also join in on that one. December 5th, I attended ARM, and we hosted our Christmas dinner at Hawthorne Estates, and we had our guest entertainment was Morgan Grace, which was fantastic. And the other day, we did the Santa Claus parade up at Grand Marais, and I don't even have the date for that.
December
Thank you very much, thanks.
What was the date for the soccer parade?
23rd.
No, thanks,
And that was, it was, the roads were icy going up, so they didn't have the greatest turnout there, but there were the pockets of kids that were lined up on the street, and I drove the float with the mayor, and Dave walked and gave out candy, and then joined
Are you
in on
still
the fire
running
truck.
candy?
No, they were giving out lots there.
Yeah, I think there might have been some left.
Were they giving out candy at soccer?
Sandra and David.
Sandra, the other two.
Before, I think they were giving out too much at soccer.
No, we were giving out one pieces.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, we
Yeah,
actually,
that was us.
I think what happened was the candy was kind of split in half.
No, she was gonna do 1/3 and 2/3.
Okay, well, 2/3 was not enough in Selkirk and
But you know
1/3 was
what?
more than enough
Who
in
knows what the
Grand
weather ever is
Well,
that
that's
night.
right.
It was just beautiful that night.
Yeah.
These are things we're giving out too much, I guess.
They were giving out now, but you know what, we had
And then
lots.
they decided that they were gonna hook a ride on the fire truck, so they got tired of walking with nobody on
Well, it
the
was such a long
sides.
distance with no
Well, there was
kids.
nobody there.
That's what they said.
There's
So,
nobody
go
there.
ahead, Councillor Sutherland.
And,
Oh,
that's it for me.
no,
So,
have you
yeah,
got
go ahead,
anything
Councillor
else?
Sutherland. Nope, that's it. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you. November 21st, the MAR Zoom meeting. This year's forum had a profit of $18,000, which was pretty good. They would have made more, but the buses for the tour, they're doubled in price for the tour buses. And 21st, again, Northeast Red Watershed District, as Rob said, was also the elections. They said they've hired a district manager. She was there. Danica Bracico, I guess you call it. There's some presentations by Colleen Cubular and the Watershed Planner, Chelsea Lobson, Lake Winnipeg Foundation, Dan Coxon and the NICO, Manitoba Association of Watersheds. And they also had subcommittee and board elections. December 23rd, December said that the Santa Claus Parade in Selkirk. December 5th, the ARM meeting. Senator said we had their entertainer, Keith Genter, and his daughter, Morgan Grace. Thanks, Rob, for your, and also, as Sandra said, December 7th was the Santa Claus Parade in Grand Marais. And for such a nice day, there was not many kids at all. It's too bad. But, and that's it. Thank you.
thanks for that, Dave. Go ahead, David.
Okay, on the 23rd, the Santa Claus Parade in Selkirk, which the other two councillors spoke about, the 25th, 26th, and 27th, Winnipeg. The 7th, the Santa Claus Parade in Grand Marais. And, oh yeah, on the 5th, the party at Rob's. And 10th is today, for me, here. And on Thursday, I'll be going to the fire meeting in.
Oh, you're going ahead of things.
Yeah, well, I won't be here unless I tell you about it. I'm going to the meeting in,
And you and I are,
yeah, and Deepak.
and Deepak,
Yeah, I'm going to the meeting in
and Tyler.
Grand Marais Fire Hall.
That's
And
this
then on the 14th, I'll be attending the Christmas party at South Beach.
Well, you might as well get it to
Is that
January.
usually
Yeah.
January? Well, it's too far ahead. But I can bring you up to date later maybe.
Okay, thank you.
And Grand Marais, is that Detroit?
No.
That's the
with Alexander.
Alexander for Sharing Services,
Yeah,
Oh,
that's above your table.
regular yearly meeting.
Not really.
Go ahead, Glenn.
November 25th through 7th, AMM in Winnipeg, and December 5th, ARM at Harbor. That's it.
That's all you had this time around?
Yep.
Okay. Councillor Spicer, I know you're there, so if you could give us your committee report, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. November the 20th, we had a Red River Planning District regular meeting. November 21st, we had a Northeast Red Watershed annual meeting. Had two councilors report on it. The only thing that I guess I can add is I'm the vice chairman of the watershed now, after the elections, so apparently, the chairman goes away part of the winter, so I'm gonna be chairing a few meetings over there. November 25th to 27th, Association of Manitoba Municipalities. Councillor Strang gave a good thorough report. The only thing I can add is there is definitely a common theme this year, and people saying that our funding model needs to be changed between ourselves and the province. And what the province did may not constitute, I guess, what they were looking for. December the 3rd, Red River Climate District budget meeting. That's our first budget meeting, so it's preliminary. December the 5th, our meeting at Rob's, it was the Christmas meeting. Very good, well-attended meeting, good venue, and definitely good entertainment. And that's all I have unless there's questions. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Councillor Spicer. Anybody have any questions or comments for Scott? Okay, for myself, November 19th, we had our regular council meeting here. November the 20th, I had a JQ board meeting. We're still working on a number of things, but they are still looking to build 29 new daycares across the province for the school division, so they're still working on that. As Scott said, we had our regular RRPD meeting on November the 20th. I guess there was further discussion on the CCAN issue that's kind of taken up quite a bit of our time in our meetings, and not all members agree with the provincial direction. So the board moved in camera to discuss various matters, and we did have some very preliminary budget discussions then. November the 23rd, Santa Parade of Lights in Selkirk, which was reported on. And November the 25th to 27th, I also attended the AMM conference, and I think everybody's pretty much reported on that, so I don't think I have to go into anything there. November the 28th, I had WMR CPR AGM and meeting. So now we have reviewed the preliminary budget. We were told that the municipal contributions will be the same, and with the introduction of Bill 42 and with the, I guess, dissolving of the legislature, that will now be brought back as Bill 4 in the next session, or this session that's going on right now, because I think they're sitting right now. So, and that was something that I didn't know, like if something is not passed by a certain date, then it gets renumbered and brought back. Same information, just a different bill. So, and then we just did our regular board business. There was an approval of the consent agenda that was presented. On December the 2nd, I had an IMRA meeting. There were more RMs represented at this meeting. The rep from each municipality gave an update on what was happening. There's a lot of recreation going on in most municipalities. We talked about how long it takes to do some of the grant applications for some services or whatever the recreation people want to do. And our next meeting is not until April. And that meeting, the rec directors will be invited, and we're trying to get some more municipalities on board. Like I remember a time when, you know, there was almost 25 of us sitting around the table, and now we're lucky if we get 8 or 9. So we're trying to build that up. We will have probably IMRA awards again in 2025. And actually, the new president, Peter from Stonewall, is going to see about getting more municipalities around the table. So he's going to work on that part of it.
Everybody already talked about ARM, so thank you very much for the venue. I think everybody enjoyed it. I talked to a couple of people that had never been there before, so they thought it was really, really good. So
Wonderful. Thank you.
that was good. And the Grand Marais Santa breakfast and parade. We didn't go to breakfast, but we did have lunch after the parade. And that's all I have, Deepak.
Question?
Yes.
On the John Q one, what did you mean by the school board? 29 more daycares coming in, and you mentioned something about the school board. Is it,
School boards in the city.
oh, they're gonna be building more daycares, but connecting it to a school? Is that-
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought they were building more, but giving more RMs the opportunity to build another one in a certain area in their RM.
That was also promised in the past and hasn't come through.
Oh, okay, so that hasn't come through, but now they're doing another round, but with schools. Okay, I didn't know that.
Didn't care.
Yeah, it seems to be changing dynamically. They still haven't come anywhere near the full commitment. So I'm not sure if they're gonna run out of time.
Because the first round was so successful with a bunch of us getting our new daycares and other RMs as well. I thought this next round would be like a no-brainer, like it would just.
Well, the
keep going.
second one was done, and our second one was actually in the third round, correct? Well, you asked for the second
Well,
round.
they said that we would be in the second round,
Right,
and so then they came up with round 1B.
right.
And our
So they
second
did
one was gonna
and
be,
then 1B, and we're waiting for round 2
and our second one was gonna be at the rec center, our new rec center,
by the rec center.
By the rec
by the
center.
rec center, but that's not happening.
Not yet.
Not right
It's
now.
still on the books.
Yeah.
We were told we qualified and we would be guaranteed in the next round that they will do for the municipalities. But things have changed dramatically since then, new government, new priorities, and now they've put a lot of priority on schools. They're doing 29 in the schools. And I think there's still a challenge in filling the positions. So they did the round 1B and 1C, I guess.
Yeah.
Good, now I know.
As long as there's not D, E, and F.
You're gonna say that housing exhilarator?
Yeah.
The reason I'm asking is I was asked, we were told how happy people are with the one that's here in our community, and they were
Right.
asking me questions about these other ones, and I was going, oh yeah, they're building more, and
Yeah.
so now I know that how.
Well, they are, but
Yeah.
not too close to
Okay.
us,
Good.
so. Sandra, did you have a question for me?
I was just gonna make a comment about our float for our parade and to thank Debbie Roy and Public Works, whoever put it together. It's on a trailer. It was just, it was a nice fresh outlook, and then it was a lot bigger, and it was nice to have the trailer.
blow-ups?
Yeah, and then, well, yeah, it was probably easier for her to do, because I know she's the one committed to always setting up the float also.
Yeah, and
for
some
us.
of the public works staff have been
Have
involved.
been helping her. Well, that's just to thank them, because we appreciate, and it was nice just to have something different than just the back of the
Just
truck.
yeah.
Yeah, so just
Yeah,
wanted
you're
to,
right.
and it was lit up very nice, so. You can pass that on to
And the blow-up dolls are working good?
them. I don't know about the blow-up dolls, but the figurines, yes.
The raccoon did very well.
Correct.
One more,
Go ahead, Counselor Polachek.
one more tidbit of information off topic, but do you know what the bridge, the Blue Bridge cost in 1945 to build? Just take a guess.
100,000.
Close. $250,000 in 1935.
You can't even get a traffic light for that.
Pretty much, eh? I bet you that bridge would be 250 million dollars.
Mhm. Okay, mine
Okay,
is
yours, yes, please. go
AMM,
ahead.
Madam Mayor, and the ARM, and nothing else to report this time.
Come on.
Must have something to talk about.
Heather, what would you like to share with us today?
I have nothing right now, thank you.
Okay, so if there's nothing else from anyone, I think we can probably move in camera again, because I believe we do have some in-camera items at the end of our agenda after our planning. If we can get that done now, that would be awesome.
Resolve council recess the regular meeting and go into in camera, discuss legal and personnel issues and other Be resolved that all matters discussed are remain confidential as per section 83(1)D of the municipal act.
Okay, moved by Councillor Belanger, second Councillor Horvis, all in favor? And we are now in camera.